In the latest episode of 9-Day Fiancé the Other Way, Nicole and Mahmoud go to his uncle's house. His family brings up a great point, which is, wasn't Nicole wearing a hijab before y'all got married? Mahmoud responds yes, then his uncle asks, since we spoke about this last time, why is Nicole not wearing the headscarf yet? Nicole then says to the audience that religion's very personal and it's no one's business why she's not wearing the headscarf yet. The uncle then adds, you have to teach her what is right versus what is wrong, dun dun. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Nicole, a 38-year-old woman from Los Angeles that got married to a 30-year-old man from Egypt after only a couple days of knowing him. Smart decisions were made! Nicole took one look at He-Man's haircut and said, yes, I'll have some of that, please. She's also quite silly because she converted to Islam and promised her husband Mahmoud that she would conduct herself as a traditional Muslim woman before marrying him.
I said yes because I thought there would be some wiggle room, but there is none. It's completely very rigid.
Serious?
No, I didn't.
We've all had buyer's remorse. Well, Nicole is having conversion remorse, and she is starting to backpedal and go back on the promises that she's made her husband, which is why she's getting called out by a large percentage of the fans that watch the show. Nicole is very similar to Danielle in that they both have no problem going back on the promises that they made to their partner in a romantic setting. The first time we see Nicole in episode 6, she's struggling to light a stove. Young Padawan Nicole is struggling to light the stove, and I'm just thinking to myself, why don't you look up a YouTube video on how to do this so that you don't have to ask anyone for help and you can be an independent woman. There's this really nifty invention called the internet, and it's something that you should probably want to look up anyway in case there's a zombie apocalypse, you know what I mean?
Mahmoud,
What, honey?
can you help me, please? I can't light the stove. I need to make some tea.
Okay, sweetie. I showed you 100 times how to do.
Thrifter Mahmoud once again teaches Nicole how to light the stove. He laughs, ha ha ha, communicates how easy it is to light the stove, and then wants her to try it out so he can make sure she knows how to do it before he goes back to living his life. Nicole admits to the audience that, gosh gee willikers, it sure has been hard for her living in Egypt. When her Egyptian prince goes off to work at the fabric store, she's home alone, and she admits that that's very boring. Ah, the perils of being left home alone, I couldn't imagine. Despite the fact that Nicole is 8 years older than her husband, she acts very naive, and this is actually a huge hole in their plot, is that she acts like everything she's experiencing right now in Egypt is her first time experiencing these things, when it's not, because she's already tried to live with him in Egypt in the past, and after 2 months she broke up with him, blocked him, canceled his visa paperwork, and left back to the United States. Y'all, she was visiting Egypt and meeting him and his family on many occasions. So this couple's ran through this exact same scenario off camera. It didn't work out. She gets a call from the network. Oh, Mahmoud, it appears we're going to be on the show 90-Day Fiancé. Why don't we try again on camera? To some casual viewers of the show, I'm sure that Nicole comes across as a ditzy blonde that lacks maturity. However, as Optimus Prime would say, there's more to this than meets the eye. In fact, the majority of fans of 9-Day Fiancé assume that their relationship was over the first time she left Egypt. However, she's still entertaining it to be on the show. The motive is definitely there. Nicole has communicated to the audience, especially during her introduction, that she's lived all around the United States. She has struggled to hold down a job and have a consistent stream of income. Let's talk about how every single episode this woman argues with her husband about wearing the hijab, something that she agreed to do before entering this relationship with him. Nicole will often communicate to her partner that she wants him to make compromises for their relationship. The compromises she's talking about is she wants her husband to allow her to dress however she wants. Whenever this conversation topic gets brought up, Mahmoud reminds Nicole that she promised him that she would uphold his rules and traditions before marrying him. In Mahmoud's mind, it's like, why would I have to compromise for something that you agreed to before we were married in order to marry me?
So now you can decide I'm serious about the clothes. I told you before, and I'm still keeping saying that this is how I am, and I'm never going to change my mind about that.
I'm never going to change my mind about it
No,
either.
so why you promised me before?
Before we were married? Because I didn't know.
What an idiotic excuse to provide for yourself when it's 2023 and we all got Google. So this girl's really gonna try and convince us that at age 36 years old, she didn't have enough common sense to look up what the requirements are of a Muslim wife before promising before friends, family, God to spend the rest of her life with this man. Nicole's like those kids that kept trying to borrow pencils when it's like, bro, we're at school.
Why wouldn't you bring a pencil?
Mahmoud couldn't have been more transparent of what his expectations of Nicole was before they got married. Now, does he have his fair share of problems? Absolutely. He seems very immature, and we can see that by how he walks away while they're arguing. You should stay and communicate to your partner in a healthy way when uncomfortable topics come up. Let me know what y'all think about this couple in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. It is such an uphill battle for this relationship to succeed because Nicole made a promise knowing that it was something that her partner is not going to compromise about. Now she wants to flip the script and all of a sudden say, well, you should compromise now for our relationship and our love and things like that. It seems like that's what she's going for, like recreating her life in America in Egypt and starting to get more freedom from him and wants him to make more compromises so that she's happy. But she made those decisions herself. Nicole spent a good chunk of this episode complaining about being home alone when Mahmoud is at work. My question to her is, why don't you spend that time learning Arabic? Every episode, I find this girl complaining about something that she's already known before uprooting her life in America and moving to Egypt, instead of actually trying to put in the effort to become an Egyptian wife. Which I get that people change their mind, and it's very possible that she's changed her mind, but the timing of it all feels really weird because it seems like since you got the call from TLC to be on the show, all of a sudden you want to try again when you broke up with him in the past, and it's something that you know doesn't work for you, right? So now it's like you're talking about, oh, I feel like I'm betraying myself because of the compromises that I made this man in the past. Well, yeah, but then don't be in this relationship and don't waste our time by being on the show, because your spot on the show could have went towards a couple that is actually serious. Nicole also says things to the audience like she feels discouraged from making friends in Egypt. And this is of course referencing the conversation that she had with his family in the last episode. Nicole asked Mahmoud's sister-in-law, who is from China, if she has a lot of friends in Egypt. The sister-in-law admitted that she doesn't have friends in Egypt. In fact, she spends the majority of her time with her family. There's a huge difference between a country's culture and a family's culture. I'm sure a lot of girls in Egypt go out with friends and spend time with friends and their family. You can do both. However, this family seems to be very restrictive and wants the woman to just spend time with the family, and that's obviously something that Nicole is not okay with. What bothers me about this segment is she's asking the family all sorts of questions that she already knows the answer to because she's seen them and met with them multiple times. She has visited this man multiple times the past couple of years. She lived with him in Egypt already. This entire segment feels disingenuous because she's pretending like she doesn't know the answers she already knows the answers to. Like I said in my last video, Nicole has no problem lying. She already lied to her parents. She didn't even tell them that she married this man. They had to find out from Facebook. So if we connect the dots, obviously she's gonna have no problem lying to the audience of this show. I'm seeing patterns here, guys.
Hi, honey bunny. So today we will go to my uncle's house.
Should we ask him, you know, like how best to get started or like, or what do you
I think we can talk, we can talk about the general idea, our business.
Today, Nicole and Mahmoud are going to his uncle's house. His uncle owns a clothing factory, and as we are aware, Nicole really enjoys to express herself through her outfits. She has a background in fashion, so she's hyped. Her idea is to design clothes together with her husband that are modest for women, but also stylish. Nicole communicates to the audience that while in the States, it was high-key frustrating for her to find clothes that are appropriate to wear in Egypt because she would find a dress and think to herself, oh, this looks modest. However, the entire back would be showing, which is a huge no-no.
And I'm supposed to have no skin showing from the neck to the ankles.
Working together on this creative project with her husband could be very beneficial for their relationship. It could also be disastrous because they really butt heads a lot. 10 seconds after this married couple is talking about potentially going into business together, they get in an argument because Nicole refuses to wear the hijab.
You know, you can wear whatever you want. Just cover your budget.
That was the first time I've ever heard those words come out of your mouth. You can wear whatever you want.
But maybe you were saying to cover your hair today?
I'm not covering my hair ever.
Why would you marry a Muslim man when you aren't truly willing to embrace his religious beliefs? I went ahead and used Google to see if it was a requirement to wear a hijab for women in Egypt, and this is what I found out. The government does not dictate what women wear, but women face social pressure to both wear and not wear the hijab. Nicole, you will wear the hijab. Life would be so much easier for this man if he was actually a Jedi.
You don't need to see his identification.
As sus as Nicole is, it's also really sus for Mahmoud to select an American woman that is used to a lot of freedom in the United States like Nicole. Wow, wouldn't you marry a woman from the same culture and religion as you so you don't run into these types of problems? When Nicole outright said that she's never going to wear the hijab again, Mahmoud responded that he's going to give her time on that so that she can think. When he said this, Nicole made an annoyed face and once again doubled down on the fact that she's never going to wear the hijab again. Nicole says to the audience that she wore a hijab for about a year and it was hot and uncomfortable. She added that her husband Mahmoud wouldn't allow her to leave the house unless she was wearing the hijab properly. Right now, now from the manner that Mahmoud is speaking to Nicole, he's trying to be easy and considerate to her and recognize that they come from different cultures and religions. However, we gotta remember this is her second time living in Egypt with him. He's starting to get irritated, especially because she doesn't acknowledge that she's going back on the promises that she made to him.
You promised me before, so.
You have also went back on your promises because at one point, like when we were first together, you decided, at least when I'm in America, that I could wear
I
a
said like
short
that.
sleeve.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Right now, Mahmoud just wants his wife to admit that she went back on promises that she made him in the past. However, instead of owning up to it, Nicole tries to flip the script on him and say that he's changed his mind about what kind of t-shirt she could wear in the past. Nicole then says something not true to Mahmoud, which is every time she FaceTimed him, she was wearing a t-shirt, and Mahmoud says, no, every time you FaceTime me, you were wearing a jacket or a long sleeve, something that covered your arms. We have footage of these lovers FaceTiming a couple episodes back, so I looked at the footage and she was in fact wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Yes, I did.
You never did.
Yes, I did.
You never did. So now it's
Yeah.
come up, so this bad way.
Even if your wife Nicole is not taking accountability and putting words in your mouth, cussing and walking away is no way to conduct yourself, Mahmoud. If you're someone that needs to take time to process how he's feeling, communicate that to your partner. Say something like, hey babe, would it be okay with you if we took 30 minutes? I want to go cool my head because I don't want to say anything nasty to you. I just need time to process how I feel. Genuinely trying to help here, brosid, because a lot of people will perceive you walking away as abandoning them during a difficult time. Mahmoud's very immature relationship-wise, but I'm not sure what his dating history is. He's been working full-time at a fabric store for the past 12 years. Not to mention, since Nicole touched down in Egypt, she has done nothing but complain and try to push the boundaries of what she's allowed to do in Egypt and what her man is comfortable with. An example of Nicole pushing the boundaries is she was so insistent on meeting all of Mahmoud's friends. He communicated to her that that's mad weird in Egypt. Usually the men hang out with the other men. They don't hang out with another man's wife. But Nicole said, Mahmoud, I want to meet your friends. I think it's weird you won't let me meet your friends. And he was like, okay, honey. They go and meet the friends, and it turns out that it was mad awkward. Another day while walking the streets of Egypt, they stumble upon a man-only cafe. Mahmoud communicates that this is a place usually only men eat at. Nicole quickly cuts him off and says, well, let's go eat there right now. I want to go eat there, Mahmoud. Nicole has big, in the words of Angela, I'm an American energy. She's trying to put her man in uncomfortable positions in order to trigger him on camera, yet she's communicating to the audience that she's trying her best to get accustomed to living in Egypt and embrace the culture and religion. She's really not. During their explosive argument, Nicole does not give her man time to cool off his head or process how he's feeling. In fact, she just barges in the room to fight again.
Mahmoud, like you know that. Like
you never did that.
I did.
You never did that, Nicole.
I did.
No.
Short sleeves, yes. This,
No.
yes, yes.
No.
Yes.
No. And you never
Yes.
talk about that. No.
Yes, yes,
no,
yes, always.
No.
Yeah, you
Not
did.
this true.
Nicole, you knew from the get-go that this man was hardcore, traditional, and religious with it. Obviously, here's what happened. She got hitched to this man. She applied to be on the show. They didn't get back to her fast enough. They had already broken up. She got a call from the show. Mahmoud, it appears we're going to be on 90 Day Fiancé. They got back together for the sake of being on the show. However, she is fully aware that their relationship doesn't work.
I think we not can be together. So
Nicole responds to Mahmoud, if you can't be with me, then don't be with me. But don't have me come here and work really hard and just be like, In what way, shape, or form have you worked really hard while in Egypt? You haven't put in any effort to learn Arabic or honor your husband's traditions or religion. You're trolling because you already had a way out of this relationship. Y'all were broken up and you chose to buy a ticket and full send it over here to Egypt. He didn't make you do anything. Nicole blames Mahmoud for every bad decision she's made in her life. He gets overwhelmed and he says, I'm done, and walks out of the room. Obviously, Mahmoud got overwhelmed because he doesn't enjoy fighting with Nicole. He prefers to run away from confrontation. It's the worst way to handle this situation when someone's attempting to gaslight you. The best thing you can do is remain calm and portray yourself as unaffected. And I say that, but I understand that it's very difficult to respond in a well thought out way when you're in an emotional state. As Mahmoud walks past Nicole to leave the room, she says, okay, good. Every time they get in an argument and he walks away, Nicole feels really good about herself because him walking away signifies to her that she won the argument.
Earlier today, Mahmoud stormed off. Now I'm just here alone with his mom in his house. I don't know where he is. He didn't tell me. He just left.
Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Obviously, Mahmoud handled that situation poorly, but him leaving her alone in the apartment with his mother is something that I'm sure she's used to when he goes to work every single day. And she knew about living with his family before moving to Egypt. Nicole then pats her suitcase like she's going to leave. However, we all know she's not going to leave as long as those TLC checks still keep coming in.
He said he didn't want to be with me anymore. So all in all, in the past few days since I got to Egypt, I feel like Mahmoud doesn't want me. He wants some ideal version of a wife, and he wants me to go, and so that's what I'm gonna do.
Once again, she's twisting his words here. He never asked her to leave. He said that he's done, and he said that maybe they shouldn't be together because she is going back on every promise that she's made him. Obviously, he said he was done and walked out of the room because he didn't want to stay and fight with her for the millionth time. Right now, she's saying, if he doesn't want me, then I'll just go, because she doesn't want to be there. Also, Nicole saying that he wants this perfect version of her that he has in his head is interesting because she's not wrong, but that's how she originally presented herself because she fully converted to Islam. In the words of the Brits, you set a false narrative for yourself in this relationship, bruv. Also, it's worth mentioning, he's doing all these fights for free because the foreigners don't get paid to be on the show. However, you know who's being paid to be on the show? Nicole is. After going on a walk to clear his head, Mahmoud walks back to the apartment in order to work this situation out with his wife. Before Mahmoud re-enters the room, he communicates to the audience that he walks away and creates distance in order to calm down because he doesn't want to say anything rash to Nicole when he's in the moment and he's feeling a lot of anger. Remember, y'all, this entire fight originated from Nicole trying to paint him out as someone that would back on his word by using a very obscure t-shirt example. Dude absolutely rage quit that conversation, and now he's back to ask her if she's ready to go to his uncle's house, which is not only foolish but really inconsiderate of him. Obviously, your woman's upset, you're upset, y'all just had a fight. It's not the best time to go and pitch this business idea to his uncle. Nicole's gonna be at the uncle's house like, this is my favorite design.
I gave up everything. I came here to be with you. And then now you say you don't want me anymore because I won't wear the clothes you want. You like.
I don't want to go.
The real Nicole came out. So it's this man's fault that you find yourself in Egypt being filmed for a reality TV show. He never said he doesn't want you anymore. Once again, you're putting words in his mouth. Really, Mahmoud? Because I won't wear the clothes you want? Well, yeah, you would think that that would be a big deal for a Muslim man living in Egypt. And to be honest, Nicole, your sense of style is goofy as fuck. There's a lot of outfits you wear that I wouldn't be comfortable with you wearing around my family. A lot of this girl's outfits look like something out of Dumb and Dumber. So obviously my family and my cousins would be ragging on me for this. So yeah, it would be fucking embarrassing. I'm not even Muslim. Watching their segment feels like something out of the Truman Show because it's the same argument in a different form every episode. Mahmoud says to the audience, I changed my mind about like when she don't pray much and when she don't wear the hijab. These are all like big deals for me. By saying this right now, Mahmoud is trying to convince Nicole and the audience that he's made sacrifices for their relationship, and I'm like, Muslim Wetsocks, inshallah, let me know what y'all think about this, but I find it to be a huge red flag that this man is okay with his wife not praying 5 times a day, but he wants her to conduct herself as a Muslim woman. That's a big deal. Pretty sure everyone knows that every Muslim is obligated to pray 5 times a day, so you would think that that would be more important than how she's dressing. Now I say that, but as I said earlier, sometimes the things that Nicole wears is out there. She actually shows up to his uncle's house dressed like Tyler, the Creator, in that earthquake video. Nicole and Mahmoud are well received at his family's house. The entire family is so happy to greet them.
I feel good. We gone to my uncle's house and my grandma and his wife and my cousin here because like I'm sure we never gone to fight around my family.
That is so sad that this man always tries to hang out with his family so that him and Nicole don't fight. Like that's the safe zone. No wonder he was so insistent that they live with his mama, because I'm sure when it was just them two in the apartment, they fought like cats and dogs.
Nicole going to get like relaxed because she have like people around. And after this, we go back home fine, like nothing happened today.
This is a huge problem I see with Mahmoud. He prefers to run away from confrontation instead of resolving the issues that he has with Nicole so that they don't resurface. He never gives this woman closure, so they just keep having the same argument in a different form every episode.
How are you today? How are you doing?
You can see the Arabic?
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, you know Arabic.
got confused. عاملة
الحمد لله يا زهرة انت عامله ايه؟
I'm glad to hear
عامله
that.
ايه؟
Hey, let's go, Nicole. That's what I'm talking about. Hit him with that one Arabic phrase you know. After visiting her husband in Egypt multiple times and actually living there in the past, she knows how to ask, how are you in Arabic with 0 follow-up. Let's clap it up for her, guys. She's really putting in that effort. Anyways, the uncle then asked Nicole if she brought some of her sketches because he's excited to see her designs. While the uncle is glancing through Nicole's designs, he asks her why she wants to design this style in particular.
Mahmoud likes me to cover my body, and in America, that's not really normal. And so when you go to the store, all you can find are shirts that come down to here, short sleeves, tank tops.
That's not necessarily true because we have Muslims in America. Also, there's this little thing called long sleeve shirts and pants. So I know she's got a background in fashion and I don't, but I got a Gengar shirt that's kind of cool. Mahmoud says, say less. That's about to be way too much to translate. Anyway, he translates what Nicole said. Mahmoud's cousin then asked an intelligent question, which is, are these clothes for Muslim women? He's trying to gauge what her target demographic is. Nicole responds that her designs are for all women that want to cover up and dress modestly.
طبعا هو اللبس دوت كمسلمه او يعني خلاص هي اسلمت لازم تغطي شعرها لازم يبقى في طرحه لازم يبقى في حاجه كده ايه
عليكي.
ماشي.
Grandma's got jokes. She said this to Nicole because Nicole doesn't wear the hijab or hijab as they call it in Egypt. Funny enough, the grandmother saying this to Nicole actually instigates something and piques the uncle's interest into why she isn't wearing the headscarf, so he straight up asks her why she isn't wearing it. When this happens, Nicole is taken aback that his uncle asked her this. She says to the audience that religion is very personal and she doesn't feel like answering this question. To be fair, I get where Nicole's coming from right here because they're in the middle of a business pitch, so her personal decision about whether she wants to wear the hijab or not has nothing to do with the present conversation. However, I will say if wearing the hijab or not is going to affect this business transaction, she might as well just wear the hijab because she can take it off the minute she gets home. It's not that big of a deal.
يا محمود برضه كان ايه يعني عشان انت لازم تعرف ان احنا مش عندنا لازم غصب حالا دلوقتي.
Yeah, like
يعني واحده بس لازم هي تقتنع ان هي لازم تلبس اشرب. بس لازم تلبس.
Okay, obviously his uncle wants Nicole to embrace Islam and have it come from the heart. His uncle goes on to bring up a fire point, which is, if she didn't convert to Islam, nothing would have been imposed on her. If she had remained a Christian, Mahmoud wouldn't have asked her to do anything. As we all know, Muslims are allowed to marry people of the book. This includes Jews, Christians, and Sabians. This great point the uncle brings up just highlights what we've been saying this entire video. Nicole shot herself in the foot throughout this entire relationship. She should have just remained Christian. She really trolled herself, especially because she originally went to Egypt on a spiritual trip, met a Muslim man, converted to Islam without actually Googling the requirements. Now on the show, we get to watch this woman look like she's being held hostage by this man and his family in every episode. Also, hear me out. Y'all ever hear that saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do? If this was any of us, and we had this business idea, we were gonna pitch it to our husband's uncle that owns a clothing factory, we would probably wear a hijab into this man's home just to come off as respectful. That's what irritates me the most, when people don't take their life seriously. Why wouldn't you put in that much more thought or effort in order to land the deal? In the next episode of the show, Nicole and Mahmoud go to a swimming pool and she complains about her swimsuit the entire time, which shouldn't surprise any of us because every episode she's complaining about something and providing excuses for herself. I don't think I truly knew what dressing modestly was like until I tried on this swimsuit. I'm crying. This made the entire video worth. Y'all, her standing there looking miserable while wearing this swimsuit was so jokes. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. She's so dramatic about the situation. It's not that big of a deal. Every time I go to California to go surfing with my little brother, we wear wetsuits. I would just think about it like a wetsuit. And the bonus is, once you're in the pool wearing this, you can pee and no one would know. If you want some one-on-one time with me, please order a Cameo. I'm the #1 Cameo creator in the entire world. Super thankful for y'all watching my content. Comment below, subscribe. Let me friend, follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.